I'm Catherine Dupre. I'm Energy and Climate Change Manager for Health Facilities Scotland. So we support all of the NHS Scotland boards in achieving energy and climate change objectives for their estates. Again, waste is a big focus for us, and it's something again we've been very successful on. We've managed to reduce our waste consumption by close to 60% in the last 10 years. We have recycling going on in all of our sites, and we've got quite tough targets set for recycling across all of our sites. Clinical waste is a big issue for us, and we're always looking for better ways of managing our clinical waste without, again, compromising any infection or patient care. The biggest challenge for us coming up is the Zero Waste Scotland regulations and how we're going to meet those, and particularly around food waste. We have to change how we deal with our food waste. So we've got a programme of work going on at the moment, first of all, to properly quantify how much food waste that we do generate across the NHS estate, and then looking at ways to deal with that. And we're considering use of anaerobic digestion facilities so that we can actually start to use our food waste for something useful and maybe get some electricity out of it. What we're considering at the moment is whether we look to do small-scale anaerobic digestion, which just uses NHS waste, or whether we look to draw in feedstock from surrounding areas. There are a couple of projects going on which are looking to, as well as using our own feedstock, take in feedstock from nearby food and drink processing facilities which exist at a couple of sites. So it's something that waste is very much on the agenda and very, very important to us.
Hi, I'm Geoffrey of Skanska. I am Senior Innovation Manager. Yes, Skanska have been implementing building information modelling. The acronym is BIM, which most people are probably familiar with now. And on one particular project we were able to reduce, using BIM, the waste of brick and blockwork by an additional 5%, and plasterboard waste was reduced by a further 12% over and above our allowance for it. So it's been really useful. And I think BIM as a process opens a whole world of areas for feasibility, research, pilot investigations, etc., etc.
My name's Colin Read. I'm Sustainability Manager for Glasgow Housing Association. And Glasgow Housing Association has about 45,000 houses across the city of Glasgow, although we're part of the Wheatley Group and will be spreading across the central belt of Scotland. Clearly, for Glasgow Housing Association, there's two aspects to this. There's our corporate waste, and there's the zero waste targets from next year about business and waste segregation, which we're keen to comply with, obviously. Within that, there's the discussion about how the waste is, in actual fact, a resource, a commodity that we can sell if we segregate it correctly. So we're quite active in that. Another aspect of that is the KPIs that we put into tenders for contractors. As part of our demolition program, we recycle about 95% of waste coming from the demolition sites. But that's waste by volume, not waste by material in terms of its carbon impact. So that's something I think that we can do better, and it's something I'll be looking for solutions to assist with that, solutions to enable ourselves and our contractors to achieve higher KPIs and also adhering to regulations. Another aspect of that is the value that we would be able to reduce off our contracts, and of course that's a very significant aspect of it which other people would be able to benefit from, not just ourselves.
Hello, my name is Roddy Yar. I'm the University of St Andrews Environment and Energy Manager. When I first came here, we operated recycling at a rate of 4%, and now our recycling and reuse rate is 71%, largely because staff at all sorts of levels are engaged and students are engaged. We've made very careful steps to get everybody involved, whether that's the cleaner who cleans out the bin, whether that's the professor who fills it up with paper, or whether it's students who come from a background of recycling or come from overseas where perhaps that background isn't quite as regimented as we operate over here. A lot of engagement, a lot of behaviour change, a lot of good signage, a lot of good orientation and good facilities mean that we're able to recycle a very high proportion of our general waste. We're not resting on our laurels there. There's a lot of recycle that still goes to landfill, so we're very keen to use all sorts of techniques to try and encourage staff to pull out more of that recyclate from the waste stream. And more of our efforts are on reuse and on reduction, working with suppliers to reduce the amount of packaging, return of crates for deliveries, consolidation of deliveries, reusing as much soil materials, reusing as much other materials that we can turn to another use, and really thinking about our whole sort of supply chain agenda and how we engage with suppliers. We're also preparing for the ban on landfill of biodegradable waste, and at a town level we're looking at an anaerobic digestion system so that we can capture waste, organic waste, from the facilities that are within the university but also within the businesses, hotels, bed and breakfasts, cafeterias, various other outlets, and also the farming community to generate revenue and provide heat and power into this local area. And we're also talking to the network operators of the electrical distribution systems, gas suppliers, how would that work in their world, if you like. So really exciting opportunities going forward in the areas of waste.